Welcome back, my friends, to another episode of TFT Hyperroll with Artark, and today's is an extra special episode for reasons you will see, and I don't want to say trigger warning because it's not really triggering, but I'm going to be a little sarcastic throughout this one, just for humor purposes only. No hate directed in any direction or anger or anything like that, and please do not direct hate, anger at anyone featured in this video just by circumstance of stuff that they say or said in the past. Okay, warnings out of the way. You've subscribed, you've liked it, you're gonna put a comment down below because that's what we do, and we're gonna get into this. So we are going through the NPC round, and I'm in my usual state of I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do. I like to see an indication from the game, and I pick up that, and it gives me a 2-star karma right off the bat, followed by a tier. So I think maybe this is trying to tell me something. Now, these augments are not really telling me anything. So I actually re-roll a gray tier because I want something that's going to work with karma since I already have a 2-star. So I grab Luden's Echo so that her little explosion will have an extra effect on it. And the last time I played Karma, and I'm going to take you over to that game for a moment, I was told in the comments that I built wrong. I shouldn't have put a more Melanomicon on her or Hand of Justice. The proper Karma items are Blue Buff, Infinity Edge, Jeweled Gauntlet. That's all that's going to work. Now, I'd like to point out that I ended up winning this match against a very strong Lagoon team without losing a single round. Just keep that in mind. It's important. But right now, my goal is to make the strongest team possible, so I've gone ahead, gotten myself up to a 2-star set, my 2-star Karma, and I turned her into the Blessed one and given her the tier because we are going with the 3, quote, perfect Karma items: Blue Buff, Infinity Edge, Jeweled Gauntlet. That's the key. So when the item choice comes up, it's going to be pretty easy. We already have a Sparring Glove, and we need to make a Jeweled Gauntlet, so needlessly large rod. So with our Jeweled Gauntlet in place, we're still keeping Set up front and then Braum just in as a tank to hold things back. I've picked up a Talia just in case I'm not able to find anything else going forward because I just want to keep making the best team possible so we can keep winning. And unfortunately, our rolling has been less than optimal. We're just not getting the other Dragonmancer champions. We don't even have a Kaisa yet. So we're forced to go with this team, and they are just strong enough to get through us, and we suffer our first loss, but it's not because of the items. And since we are going to stick with the items, Infinity Edge, Jeweled Gauntlet, Blue Buff, we can either take the Sparring Glove or the tier. I'd rather grab the tier and have Karma casting faster. So now she's got her Blue Buff, we have one thing to go. So now we have got our Blue Buff, we've got our Jeweled Gauntlet, and the reason I'm keeping Talia in the back is she's going to cast more often, and we do have Luden's Echo as our first augment, so I want to get as much use out of it as possible. But it seems like the Blue Buff is absolutely helping us get back into our winning ways. So I texted Gary and I said, I need Dragonmancer. She said, okay, I hear you. Here's a volley bear. Now, will you leave me alone? I'm trying to actually get some work done. And it's time for us to consider our second augment, which it was a quick consideration because Axiom Arc is going to help us cast more often. Again, that is the goal with Karma. You want her casting a lot. We finally get ourselves a Kaisa, so we can go ahead and grab her. And now at least we have the 4 Dragonmancers, so we're getting an increased bonus. And then, surprise, surprise, we run into a Swift Shot Cavalier team. Again, nothing wrong with it. It is an incredibly strong build and probably one that you can use to easily get into the top 4 in almost every game, but you're going to run into it a lot. But we get through them. As luck would have it, the phone rang during the next NPC round, so I wasn't able to gather my globes yet, but the moment I saw the Sparring Glove, I knew I had everything I needed no matter what was in the globes. I now have the perfect Karma items. The Infinity Edge, Jeweled Gauntlet, Blue Buff, what I was told I had to do in order to win with Karma. Now, since I don't have Dragonmancer emblems, I have to find something else to fill in, and in this case, I'm using Guardians. I have Braum and Rakan, who are trying their best to hold things back while Karma just blows them up, and it seems to be working really well. Look at the amount of damage that she's doing. And I have to admit, this item combination is pretty powerful, as she's nearly one-shotting everything. In fact, at one point, she's going to look into their backline, knock everything out in just 2 shots. For our final augment, we don't get much choice, because I rolled a gray augment to start off with, so I am stuck with one of these things. I decide to go with scoped weapons because I can move everyone back into the first 2 lines, and that will work. I go ahead and keep Braum out front to absorb some of the damage, but bring everyone else back so that they're getting the increased range and attack speed. I'm also pretty close to, well, now a gold Kaisa and also a gold Karma, which I pick up right there, but not in time to start the match. So next match, I'm good to go. Gold Karma with the perfect items. And if it wasn't for that one early loss, I would be cruising through this with a perfect game. It's Treasure Dragon time, and since I don't need to fill in any Karma items, I can really make do with the first offering. It gives me exactly what I want to help finish out Kaisa's build, because this will allow me to get some debuff involved, because I can put a Morellonomicon onto Kaisa, along with the Spear of Sojin, so she's casting more often. The Thieves' Gloves will go onto Braum just to make him a little bit tankier, and then we will roll to see what we can find. We're at a semi-awkward place with Dragonmancer because we really need Yasuo to fill it out and get us up to 6, but I'm playing this at regular speed just so you can see this. Karma's gonna cast, and that's the end of the team. I got a shot at a Terra in between rounds, so I decided to take that and replace Braum. I'm going to go ahead and pick up the Rabadon's Death Cap for Kaisa so that her attacks are more powerful, and then go ahead and put the Dragon's Claw onto Volibear since he's additionally shielding himself at the beginning of the match. This will make him more magic resistant and allow him to gain back some health. And say hello to our Guild Cavalier Swiftshot team that is doing what those teams do. This is normally a really fantastic build, but against this Karma with these items, yeah, it just doesn't stand much of a chance. Look at the damage. Now we run into something I hadn't really seen before, which is an Astral Swiftshot team, and they're Swiftshot because they've turned Nidalee and Jace into Swiftshots, who are also shapeshifters, which gives them a lot of power, and they are able to overwhelm us. And even though I'd rather go in on a win, we are still into the top 4, and now we got the Yasuo we desperately needed to take us up to the 6 Dragonmancers. So Karma is going to get a ton more powerful. I've also gone ahead and taken out Rakan and put in Soraka so we can heal. For our final item choice of the game, I decide to go ahead and grab the Thieves' Gloves. They're going to do us the most good because it'll put 2 items on someone. Lagoon Emblem or Warrior Emblem is not really going to help that much, although it would have made Yasuo just a little bit stronger, but at this point I'd rather have the double item. As you notice, I finally learned a little bit and I'm rolling before putting the items on, so I'm able to get the 3-star gold set and the 2-star silver Soraka. Having the Soraka right now to me is key because getting that heal will take me out of being able to be knocked out in 2 rounds, and I'll actually get a 3rd round if things go wrong. I'm counting on Karma to be the carry here. This is a very interesting team. I had not seen much full shimmer scale getting into the final 4, but they have done it, and they have a really strong Kaisa in the backline doing a lot of damage, but they haven't met my Karma yet, who is just going to be able to level them. It's down to 3 people, and along comes a team I was afraid I might run into. Do we all recognize this team? Yes, we do. It is the Seraphine carry team, and it's going to be able to put out a lot of healing, and that healing is enough to hold up against our Karma damage and beat us. I check in and see that the Seraphine Graves team also defeats the other team. So it is now down to the two of us. And I don't know quite how I'm going to get through it. But here's the key. I have 3 tries to figure this out, because in this next round, and I now have a 2-star Terra, I'm going to heal for 2, so I'm going to go to 12. If they beat me, that will knock me to 6. In the next round, I'll heal for 2, so I will go to 8. And if they beat me, I will get knocked down to 2. So I get 3 bites at this apple to see if I can get through them. Now you're going to see that their healing is just too much. And I wonder if having a Morellonomicon on Karma may have helped just a little bit, because that healing is what's keeping us from winning. Maybe not, but the last time it helped. Now, I have been rolling trying to find things that will help, and I finally see a Shyvana and lock for it and think maybe there's going to be some pivot I'm going to be able to pull off if I can't find a way to win. And it's very clear to me I am not going to find a way to win. And in this next round, Soraka's not going to matter because I am now down to 2 health. So something needs to change, and change drastically. So we have 21 seconds to figure this out. I've grabbed a Shyvana and I rolled, and there's a second Shyvana. So first it's time to say goodbye to Soraka and take her out. It's time to also get rid of Terra. It's not helping me. I bring in Bard, find the 2-star Shyvana, and throw the Thieves' Gloves on. Double Redemption is not the perfect items, but it will work. This is what I have to work with, and this is the last shot. It's a radical change at the last moment, but I'm hoping that Shyvana jumping into their backline and interrupting them, along with Bard, is going to do it. And yes, it holds them up enough that Yasuo is actually able to come in and finish them off, leading the damage charts. I say GG because it was a fantastic pivot, and they respond with "good for you, Karma player." I think that's what it was supposed to mean. At least I hope so. But seriously, the joke to me is that it wasn't even Karma that won it. It was the pivot. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, have an absolutely awesome day.